Hi, welcome to the Gamesplainer. I'm Jeff the Gamesplainer and today I'm Gamesplaining Clank. So, it's been a year since I played Clank. In fact, it's been a year since I played Clank in space, as well as Clank. I'm going to do this video dealing with both of these games to see what my feelings on them are. Simply because they are very similar games to each other. So, I have only played each of them one time since I did the videos for them a year ago. That's not because I dislike them. I just found that no one's really wanting to play them. I'm getting into a habit of saying, oh, I've only played this once since I've done the video. And I dislike having to say that. I have a big gaming day coming up, and I'm hoping that I'm able to actually get both games played simultaneously, right next to each other, on the same table, 4 people per board, go. I think that that's a good enough way to play it. With Clank, there is a couple of expansions now available. I have the Sunken Treasure expansion on Clank, and I think that's a really good expansion that it makes it harder to get to the lower levels. It changes the board, but you need to get yourself a breathing apparatus to go underwater. Otherwise, you can only go underwater for one turn and you have to get back out. I think that's a really wonderful addition to it. There's since been I believe it's the Pharaoh or Tombs or something to that effect, expansion that I need to get. There's also an expansion that's come out for Clank in Space, which once again I need to get. I cannot comment on them because I haven't played with them. What I found with Clank is that the order of the cards coming out is very, very much indicative of how deep you're going to be able to go. So some people are able to move through because they got the cards that enable them to move really quickly. And if you get them at the right time, it's really good for you because you only have to stop at the spots where the crystal caverns are. So if you have 2 spots to get to one of those and you have 2 boots, that'll enable you to get there. If you only have 1, that'll get you to the next spot. If the next time you have 2 boots, you're still only going to be able to move 1. And so the order in which the cards come out in terms of that the 5 that you're choosing or that you're dealing to yourself, that's really, really important early on. I've found that anyone who's able to get down a little bit in that first few turns, because they've managed to get the appropriate cards in the right order, will tend to, not always, but will tend to win the game. There is enough thinking about how deep do I want to go before getting back out, and that makes the dragon really angry and he'll start chasing the guys who are still in there. There's a lot of thinking about that of how deep you want to go, because obviously there's more points on that. I found that in the last game I played, someone went after the monkey idols, and that actually helped them out really well, and that was a really good thing for them to do, because it's a heap of points on that if you can get them. It's obviously hard to get them, but going there, it's not the worst thing in the world. And that's a worthwhile thing to do as well. So there's a lot of thought process in there, but it's very much governed by the cards that come through your hand. Clank in Space plays similarly to Clank. So if you already know Clank, getting across to Clank in Space is actually quite straightforward. There's a couple of extra things that you need to do because you need to get keys to unlock the next space to be able to actually get the tokens. I think that the problem with Clank in Space is that because all the tokens or what you're trying to get, the amulets, talismans, I can't remember what they're called, all in that same area, it's actually not too difficult to go to the really high-end, lots of points one if you're the first there. So it means that the first person who gets to the end is most likely to win the game, assuming they've picked up appropriate stuff on the way through and they've got the appropriate number of points on the way through. I prefer the space version. That's just me. I think that I've done really well with the space version. I probably win the space version more often than not. Whereas with actual Clank, I don't believe that I've won that game yet. There's something about it that is just feels easier in the space version. It feels easier to, once you've got the talisman, to get back out. That feels easier. It may not be, but it does feel it. I think it comes down to the cards that are being coming through the deck that you're choosing to pick up and collect. The combinations of those cards make it easier. It might be that I'm just selecting the cards that allow me to move faster and quicker through the spaceship. That's just me. I've found that other people really like the original game where you're going into the dungeon. Both are fine. I do like playing both versions. I just find that the dungeon version's a lot harder. For me personally, I tend to lose that game a heck of a lot. In fact, I tend to not even get back out of the dungeon. It may be because I'm going too deep or trying to get too many points off the treasure, but it is what it is. So look, I'll try the expansions and hopefully they will add to those games. I'm assuming that's the case. I'm seeing between the two. I'm so glad that I actually own both. I really am. So if you are someone who likes Clank, please comment below. Let me know. You prefer Clank in Space? Let me know. I've forgotten I even owned Clank. Have a go at it. Get back into it. Play it. I think that we should be playing games that are older than a couple of months. Please get back in there. Get playing them. I plan on playing them in the coming weekend. So I'll leave it up to you to do the same. If you have any comments or suggestions, please write them below. If you have any games that you'd like to be Gamesplaned, please shoot me an email at thegamesplainer@gmail.com. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at thegamesplainer to keep up to date with the games I'm playing. Subscribe to my videos to keep up to date with the games I'm gamesplaining. And until next time, enjoy gaming.